Hey, I'm Dr. Charles, aka CoachMD. In my over 30 years of medical practice, I've made it my goal to help you create a great life by achieving a strong mind, a healthy body, and an unshakable spirit. What I want to talk to you today about is living forever. Is that something we actually even want to do, right? But there's some interesting science which goes over the idea that there's no theoretical limit to human lifespan, and that's what a new study says. So let's take a look at this from Science Alert. Humans can probably live to at least 130 and possibly well beyond, though the chances of reaching such super old age remain vanishingly small, according to new research. The outer limit of the human lifespan has long been hotly debated, with recent studies making the case we could live up to 150 years, or arguing that there is no maximum theoretical age for humans. Now, those of you who are familiar with biblical history know that there are people in the Bible who have reportedly lived well past the, let's say, 120 or 150 years of human lifespan. We're talking in the 900s or whatever, a lot of years. But let's go on and see what this has to say. The new research published Wednesday, that's in September 2021. That's the last week of published Wednesday would make it probably around September 21st, 2021. In the Royal Society Open Science Journal, wades into the debate by analyzing new data on supercentenarians, people aged 110 or more, and semi-supercentenarians aged 105 or more. While the risk of death generally increases throughout our lifetime, the researchers' analysis shows that risk eventually plateaus and remains constant at approximately 50-50. Interesting. So if you get to a certain age, you actually may go over, because obviously when you're getting older, 80, 85, 90, the risk of death tomorrow, let's say, is greatly increased. However, if you live, they're saying, longer, let's say 100, 105, the risk of death starts going down, actually. Interesting. Beyond age 110, one can think of living another year as being almost like flipping a coin, said Anthony Davison, a professor of statistics at the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology in Lausanne, who led the research. So, right, so the chances of living another day when you're, let's say, 95, 100, is less than 50-50. But when you're getting older, it actually levels off at 50-50. If it comes up heads, and then you live to your next birthday, that's a little bit cold, I think. And if not, then you will die at some point within the next year, he told AFP. Based on the data available so far, it seems likely that humans can live until at least 130, but extrapolating from the findings would imply that there is no limit to human lifespan. The research concludes. The conclusions match similar statistical analyses done on data sets of the very elderly. But this study strengthens those conclusions and makes them more precise because more data are now available, Davison said. So nobody has lived 130, 150, but they're using this data to extrapolate, to determine not only the probability, but the possibility. The first data set the team studied is newly released material from the International Database on Longevity, which covers more than 1,100 supercentenarians from 13 countries. Now, I'll make available this article that I'm going over right now, and they have the hyperlinks that you can get in that article, so you can look for yourself. The second is from Italy. On every person they looked at every person in Italy who was at least 105 between January 2009 and December 2015. 1 in a million? Well, the work involves extrapolating from existing data, but Davison said that was a logical approach. Any study of extreme old age, whether statistical or biological, will involve extrapolation, he said. Now, extrapolation, what that means is you draw a conclusion that hasn't from sets of data of possible results. So you're taking what you have right now, and you're trying to form a theory or a hypothesis drawn upon something that hasn't happened yet. So you're taking that and saying, well, this is possible due to the information we currently have. We are able to show that if a limit below 130 years exists, we should have been able to detect it by now using the data now available. Still, just because humans can theoretically reach 130 or beyond doesn't mean we're likely to see it anytime soon. Okay, so those of you who fear death and who want to live as long as possible because this is your only reality, then yeah, it's a little bit bad news, but there is a possibility that this could change in the not too distant future. First start, the analysis is based on people who have already achieved the relatively rare feat of making it to well over 100, and that is. And there are many genetic studies that are looking at this, and it does seem to be genetically controlled from what I've seen. And I know there's research at the Albert Einstein School of Medicine in the Bronx, New York, we're looking at this. And in fact, there are some ethnicities that seem to have a longevity gene. I know amongst Ashkenazi Jews, there seems to be a longevity gene that is seen in the centenarians, and Ashkenazi Jew are centenarian. So some of this is driven, a lot of it's driven by genetics. And even at age 110, your chances of making it to 130 are about 1 in a million right now. Not impossible, but very unlikely, says Davison. He thinks we could see people reaching 130 within the century as more people make it to supercentenarian status, increasing the chances of one becoming that 1 in a million. And of course, that has to do with advances in medical research, medical science, and just the treating just everyday ailments and everyday accidents that might happen. We just have more technology than we did 100 years ago. But in the absence of major medical and social advances, ages much over this are highly unlikely ever to be observed, he added. For now, the oldest person on record is French woman Jean Calment, who died in 1997 at the confirmed age of 122. Confirmed age. There are a lot of anecdotal cases out there, but this is a confirmation. Her true age was the subject of some controversy with claims of a possible fraud, but in 2019, several experts said a review of the evidence confirmed her age. Other pretenders to the throne of oldest person ever have a long way to go. The oldest verified living person in the world is Japan's Kan Tanaka, a comparatively youthful 118. So, what are your thoughts about this? About living forever, or the idea of unlimited lifespan? There's so much really in science, in theology, in philosophy, looking at this question. I'd love to hear what you think about it. So until next time, I'm Dr. Charles, a.k.a. CoachMD, urging you to stay strong in mind, in body, and in soul, and increase your chances by doing that. Bye for now.
Hey, Dr. Charles, CoachMD. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure to like and comment below. I'd love to hear from you. If you think you have a friend who might benefit from this video, share it with them. For access to exclusive content, support my Patreon. There you'll get private access to videos, meditations, health tips, even relationship and financial tips. You'll have a say in what I produce and be able to participate in a monthly call with me. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you soon.